What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dooley TV. So, today's a little different. Today, we're going to be doing some arts and crafts. I decided to start another company again, because I just can't get enough of starting companies apparently. So I started, I'm going to try to make exhaust tips, custom exhaust tips for the homies and whoever else dares to buy them. I already got 2 orders. I mean, I don't even have a single follower on the Instagram I made yet, but hey, I guess work just came and work is gonna happen. So, for the first homie, we're gonna do a teardrop tattoo. So I bought this from AutoZone. It's just a 90-degree stainless steel pipe, 2.5 inch. And then if I have time, so this one's gonna be for Jeffrey. The second one I'm gonna make is gonna be a flame tip. If you've seen my E46 in person, you know that my exhaust tip right now, it's like a flame tip that I made a long time ago. I used the wrong metal, didn't polish it up, so it rusted up and everything. Learned from my mistakes. But the flame one I'm making for Ricky has a much larger exit. So I bought some 4-inch pipe that I'm gonna be using to make that for his car. I am using stainless steel and I did buy polish and everything, so it should come out super solid. So anyways, for this one, teardrop, it's just gonna be a teardrop exhaust. And then if I have time in this video, I'll go ahead and start on Ricky's. I do want to finish both of them today, but we'll see what happens. Always hope, or what is it? Expect the worst, hope for the best. What is it? I can't remember the saying, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to get at. So anyways, let's start on this. So first thing we're just gonna do is kind of draw out how we want to cut this. And it doesn't have to be a perfect cut, because either way it's gonna get grinded down and sanded and everything, so. So the reason I actually bought a 90-degree from AutoZone instead of just bending my own metal is because I do have a bender, but it's at BC Garage. It's early in the morning right now. They don't open until 11. So I kind of just wanted to get started, have an early start on the day. So I just went ahead and opted out for a 90-degree from AutoZone instead of just bending one myself. In future applications, of course, I will be most likely bending myself. Anyway, so we got the rough drawing of what it's gonna look like. Now I just gotta cut it. So let me try to find some safety glasses, because I don't like metal in my eyes, and we'll cut it up. Alright, got my safety goggles on. These are super either dirty or scratched, because I can't see a damn thing. Just remembered I got coffee. You guys know anything about me? The last thing I should be drinking is coffee, because I have like anxiety issues. But it just tastes so good, I can never. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's start cutting. Basically, I already kind of got this side done. I'm still gonna go over it a little bit more, make it as perfect as possible, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm going for. It's actually turning out super sick. I low-key might do like a double exit on my Beamer, like this is fire. Yeah, let's continue. Now, what would definitely help, I think, with this is having one of those flat sanding machines so that I could literally just, you know, put it down, flatten it completely. Doing it by eye, I mean, it's possible, but it just takes a lot longer. But I just, right now, what I'm doing is I grabbed the die grinder with the bit on it. This is a carbide bit. And I'm just gonna get these edges right here that are obviously, you know, make it all smooth. That's basically done. Now I just want to sand the inside, the outside, polish it up, make it look nice and perfect. Let's need some cleaning up. Yeah. Alright, so I found some 800 grit. Let's see if it's rough enough to at least start. You know what would really help is getting a table vise, because then I can kind of just hold it there and then be able to sand it without having to hold it and use both hands for sanding. Unfortunately, we don't have that yet, keyword. So for now, either I use my legs or figure it out. Take this stuff off. Doesn't fall, especially my caffy. Some random stuff from AutoZone about this little piece. Obviously, I'm not going to use it like this. I'm going to cut this off, connect it to my drill, and try it that way. And then I bought some polish. Hopefully this works. I haven't really looked up what I'm supposed to be using, but hope for the best. Pretty good. I mean, obviously, the part where I touch it with my fingers is gonna look terrible, but how good that shines. And I barely even took any time to sand. That's fire. Obviously there's marks and stuff, so what I'm probably gonna do is go back over it with some heavier grit and smoothing it out a lot more. Like right there, you can see all those scratch marks. But yeah, so I'll probably use some heavier grit and then re-polish it. But just to kind of show a before and after of what just a little bit of polishing and sanding does. The sun. This is before. This is after. It looks a million times better. So I'm gonna call Jeffrey, see if he wants to come pick it up and how he likes it, if he wants me to make any changes. Obviously I'm still gonna sand it down and polish it a little bit more, but yeah, it came out pretty fire for the first one I've ever made. Alright, so put a little sander attachment on my drill, and basically what I'm gonna do is get the inner circle right here a lot cleaner, because if you look at it really closely, it looks pretty uneven. Alright, so honestly that teardrop exhaust tip took way less time than I expected it to. So we are going to start on Ricky's flame tip. So one of the issues I'm already having, which I didn't think about yesterday when I picked up the metal, is this is really thick. So it's probably going to take forever for my grinder to go through it. That's one, and then two, when I made the one on the E46, I had a vice grip. So it is going to be a little bit tough. I know that one of the homies down the street has a vice grip that I can use, but he's not home for another couple hours, and I don't want to wait that long. And then I do have a saw coming in from Amazon, and I bought the blade. The blade came in yesterday. But the saw probably is not going to come in until like 4 or 5. So I'm just going to have to use the grinder for now and hope for the best. So basically step 1, I drew out the line already. Step 2, cut it. Step 3, draw the flames. Step 4, cut the flames out. Step 5, clean it up. Step 6, sand it down. Step 7, polish. Step 8, go throw it at Ricky's head. Alright, so finished cutting that piece. Here it is. Obviously I'm doing it with the grinder, so it's not going to be straight, but I'm going to go back with the flap disc and try to get it as straight as possible. And then hopefully when my saw comes in later, I'll probably try to cut it again just to make it that much better. But now what I'm going to do is draw the flames where I want them. I'm probably going to draw a straight line across, so I know where I want the bottom of the flame to be, and then I'll draw the rest of the flames. But yeah. Alright, so got the flames drawn up. Now this isn't exactly what it's gonna look like when it's done. Like for example, like you have this straight line right here. Obviously it's gonna be more rounded, but usually it turns out a lot better than what the drawing looks like, or at least that's what I noticed when I did mine. So now I'm gonna grab the die grinder and just start outlining. And I haven't used the die grinder before to cut it out. Last time I actually just used the grinder and cut like majority of it out. So we'll see what happens this time. If I notice that I can just get through all the way with the die grinder and just follow along, then that's going to be a million times easier, and that's probably what I'll do. But if not, then I'll just use the grinder. Okay, so right away I could tell that I'm going to have to do it the way that I did before, since I don't have a vice grip and I can't hold this thing steady. What I'm going to do is grab some drill bits, drill out as many holes as I can, so that it's easier for me to come with the grinder and basically cut out a bunch of big pieces, and then I'll use the die grinder to round everything out that I need to round out. Alright, this sucks. Already went through 2 drill bits. I mean, don't get me wrong, I bought this from Ross. So I wasn't really expecting too much. I didn't think they would be that bad though. Yeah, and I couldn't even pierce through at all. So what I'm gonna have to do is just go at it with the grinder, and hope for the best. So I'm probably gonna move to the floor so I don't accidentally roll off the table and like cut myself or something. Kind of figured this would happen, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as I can get majority of the metal out that I need out, I can go in with the die grinder and, you know, round it out, do whatever else I need to do. So let's do that. I started cutting. Right, basically it's just going to be a bunch of rough cuts, and then the main thing to do is going in with the die grinder and perfecting everything. My brother did find a vise under one of those cabinets right there, so that's going to come in handy. But what I'm excited about is this. I got something for the E46. Let me know what you think it is in the comments down below. Yeah. What do you think it is? All I'm gonna say is it's gonna make the E46 a little bit more comfortable. But I'll let you try to figure out what it is. Sorry guys, I keep forgetting to record. It's day 2 now. I'm still working on Ricky's tip. So basically, with the rough cuts, it should look something like this, kinda. More like this, kinda. And now I'm just kind of going with the Dremel, or with the die grinder, and I'm smoothing in all these like smaller loops, curls, whatever. Obviously they're not done. I still got to go over them again. But it's just step by step, just smoothing as much as possible. And then once I finish that, I'm going to put a bigger die grinder bit on and get like all the main loops on the bottom. So this one, this one, this one, this one, so on and so forth. After that, I'm basically just going to grab the grinder again and focus on all like the tips of the flames to make them as sharp as possible, and you know, actually make them look realistic or whatever. As you can see, I mean, some of them are just like not very realistic, like this one, or this one looks like a crab claw, you know. But yeah, so it's a work in progress. It's definitely a long process, but hey, I mean, hopefully it turns out to be super sick. Alright, so basically, all the cutting is basically done, and shaping and everything. This is what it looks like now. Way cleaner than it did before. As you can see, there's a lot of shards. So basically what I'm gonna do now is get the flappy disc on right here onto the grinder, and then grind everything down all the way around. If there's any like heavy scratches, I'll get that with the grinder as well. But basically that's gonna take off this like nasty edge all over. And then I'm gonna go in with the die grinder on the inside, make sure to get anything that's hanging out. I mean, I'm sure you can see how much of it is, but basically that'll clean everything up. Once I finish once I finish grinding it with the flap disc, I'll be able to start sanding and polishing. I'm all finished up. This is how it came out. I like it. I think it's sick. I did not polish it. I tried to, and this shredded my pad. So if Ricky wants to polish it, he can polish it, but I'm not gonna do that. So sorry, Ricky. This is a 4-inch pipe. But yeah, I think it looks pretty sick. Turned out pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get to see it once he puts it on his car. But yeah. So I already have another customer who wants a teardrop side exit for his wastegate, which is going to be super sick. It's probably going to be out of like 2-inch pipe or so. So I'll probably get that done tomorrow or the day after, or maybe I'll just wait until he hits me up. But yeah, I'm all done. So you guys saw that teardrop. The first teardrop one I did came out fantastic, and the second one I just finished, which is that flame one for Ricky. If you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Let me know what you thought of the tips. And yeah, doses.